Tonight, we're going to talk about Mondo having some awesome exclusives and apparently some big reveals coming at this weekend's Wondercon. We'll talk about it all tonight on Geek Dad Live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Geek Dad Live. I'm your host, Jay Glapfelter. With me as well as my good friend Quip. How you doing tonight?
Doing well, doing great, feeling fantastic. Hey,
I think I got somebody unmuted here, or somebody has it playing in the background. Perfect, thanks, Jason. Go ahead, Quip. Sorry, go.
All good. I am doing well, feeling a lot better. Allergy medication is actually kicking in. Got a brand new fancy mic thanks to you, so thank you very much for that. And I won't sound like Chopper Dave, reporting on the traffic this week. Hopefully, it's coming in loud and clear for everybody at home.
I adjusted you up a little bit. You're coming a little low, but I raised your volume a little bit. So hopefully, but you sound great. Sound much better than the chopper microphone we had last week. Awesome. Well, we have some special guests with us here that people are probably seeing in the window right now. So let's give them a quick warm welcome. Listen, this first person I consider royalty as far as collecting anything, like one of the historians for toy history, as well as an incredible sculptor. You're talking me way too much, Jay. Let's please welcome Jason, aka Toy Otter, to the show. How's it going, my friend? Oh, he's muted again. I'm gonna unmute.
It's like I've never done one of these before. It's going fine. Thanks, guys. I'm glad to be here.
I like it. You're a little bit closer shaved than I think the last time. I think you had more of a beard or maybe something, a goatee or something.
Yeah, it's pre-summer. Beard will come back.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it looks good. You look good regardless. So excited to have you here. And then we also have Bill for the first time on Geek Dad Live from Fresh Monkey Fiction. Welcome, Bill, to the show.
Hey, how's it going?
It goes. Excited to have
Fantastic.
you both here.
Thank you.
So you all are here because a little bit later we're going to talk about your next Kickstarter for Longbox Heroes. Is it Wave 2 or Series 2? What is it?
We're calling it Wave 2, but
Okay.
I mean the first wave was 23 figures. Because this one's a Kickstarter, as we'll get into. Let's say all the stretch goals fund, we're dealing with like 26 figures. So you can call it Year 2 or Series 2 or
Tsunami versus a wave.
Yeah.
Tsunami. We will. I'm very excited to jump because I know that we're big fans here on this channel of the first wave or series of Longbox Heroes, because you're tapping into that wonderful superpowers-esque style that we're big fans of here. So excited to see what is to come in Series 2. But before we get into anything tonight, let's say hello to the chat. It's hopping as always. Scroll back a little bit to Alison Troy, Derek Ova, Paul Galliano, Tucker Prime, Slave to Leia, Fed Pool is in the house, Tony Johnson, Mint with card, Eric Elliman, Chris, Paul Galliano again, Topher Khan is here, Brian Brink, master of the charts. Boo Cat is here. Matt Bush in the house as well. Craig Stanley's Toy Channel. Deep Space Niner is here. Brian Carr, Tony Taponi, Allison Troy, master of research. Chad Stewart, Nick Dillinger is here as well. Gady's Toys in the house too. Chris Bruno, Damian Flash is here. James Vinipal, Toy Manoids, Dora Laxian is here as well. Luis Ballestos is here too. James Lynn, the Mitch, Shiny Plastic People is here as well. And so many more. Thank you so much to all of y'all for being here with us tonight. We also have some anniversaries. We got Angry Elf, Johnny Cock with 28 months and 2 months respectively. And Andy Silva, 31 months as a GDL family member. And we have a ton of gifted GDL memberships. We got Johnny Cock, who's gifted 5, Dave, who's gifted 5, Tucker Prime, who's gifted 5, and Chad Stewart's gifted 5. That's, to my very elementary math skill, 20 GDL memberships gifted to all of y'all. So to all the new members.
That's what she said.
Oh, wrong button. Sorry. This one.
I got family.
Y'all got family. with the GDL family. So anywho, all right. Whew. And also, everybody that's here, hit the like button. Oh, I got some more anniversaries. Just came in. It's just tonight's the night for anniversaries. Got Video Powered Gaming, 12 months. KL, 11 months. Riley Bob, 31 months. And I'm sure more will come in as the time goes along. Shiny Fox, maybe one day I will join again by choice. It's just, I hope you don't take us the wrong way, but I hope you never get one of the gift ones, because it's like a Charlie Brown in the football. It's just better if you actually don't get a gifted one.
Exactly. And I think we've got Andrew from Gady's Toys also agrees with you, Jay, here, where he said just make sure Chris doesn't get one ever.
I'm fine living, but Chris, I hope you're okay. It's like, damn it.
Chris getting one is like Ross and Rachel finally getting together. You're like, all right, who cares?
Exactly.
Anymore?
The magic's
whatever.
gone.
Like, we got to keep that tension going.
Exactly. No, you're getting one tonight. See, all I have to do is just be upset that you didn't get a shout out, and I will definitely maybe remember to shout you out. Okay. Just a couple quick housekeeping things before we get into everything. I had a accident on a scooter today, folks. It wasn't great. Hold on, let me just share. Well, actually, I got bandages on now, but I fell going high speed, and I got a huge
road rash.
Road rash, yeah. So it's like a big cherry one right here, and my hand and my knee, and then my other elbow. So I'm really sore and not feeling so great, but I'm still gonna bring the energy. But just so you know, I was a little bit late because I was trying to put some ointments on my arms and hands, so I wasn't gonna be too in pain for tonight. Exactly, it's definitely a damage shape. It's just I thought I could still scooter like I could when I was younger, but clearly.
So what kind of scooter are we talking? Are we talking one of the electric scooters, a Razor?
It was like a Razor. It was like a knockoff Razor scooter. And Alex, my youngest, was going down a hill, and it was a road. So I was holding back to make sure no cars were gonna come or whatever, be the lookout. And then he stopped all of a sudden. So then I tried to stop, but that was a bad idea, because then my rickety little scooter got wobbly, and then I started, I knew I was going to eat shiz. So I jumped off, but I was going so fast my feet couldn't catch up to the speed, and I just ate it. So that's what happened to me today. Sorry, no membership super chats. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm glad I wasn't seriously hurt as well. It could have been way worse. I did a good tuck and roll. One of the neighbors came out because she saw me eat it, and she was like, "You did it. That was a really graceful fall, considering how bad it was." And I was like, "Thank you."
There you go. You got to tuck and roll. Just roll with it.
Oh, I did it well. Okay, so that's the first thing. Second thing. For Toy Geeks podcast, we're starting a new mini series. We've already recorded the first episode, but it's not premiering this week. It's premiering next week, and I'm super pumped. And I think Jason's already agreed to be a guest on one of the episodes. We haven't figured that out yet, but that's going to happen too. But Dan and I are kicking off with. This is going to be a really fun toy line. I think this is my favorite episode we've recorded so far. But Power of the Force 2, baby, we're diving into it. So make sure you go subscribe to the Toy Geeks podcast channel down below. We recorded the first episode, 1995 was the dive in there, and I have a lot of favorites, but I think this episode that we started, and I think this series is going to be my favorite just because of how crucial this toy line is. So the next series, Power of the Force 2, go subscribe, don't miss an episode, because it's going to be a ton of fun. All right. Quip, are you excited for Wondercon this weekend?
I am excited. I'm excited for Wondercon. I'm excited to see what will come from Wondercon. It's going to be exciting.
What do you have you actually? I don't know. Have you been to any of the major conventions before? I don't know if I know this or
I have not been to any of the major conventions yet.
Okay. What's have you been to any type of big convention? I guess anything
I'm trying to think. I know I've been to. This was more specifically a convention for like sports memorabilia.
Mhm.
And the main reason I went there was because I had purchased on the secondary market the Easter Rocksteady and Bebop, and both
Ooh,
of
yeah.
those had been signed by the voice actors,
Oh, cool.
Cam Clark, and I'm forgetting the other gentleman's name who voices Bebop and Donatello. So both those were signed, so I wanted to make sure I got them authenticated. I mean, the seller had pictures of the
Sure.
actors signing it, and so I went there to just get stuff authenticated. So I kind of saw, okay, skimmed baseball cards, looked at some famous athletes from days gone by, and yeah, that's my only experience kind of being on a con floor. I went on the second day, and I intentionally went later so that I could avoid the crowds, avoid the big rush, and just kind of meander and
Yeah.
saunter, if you will, casually. But I am looking forward to um, anytime I think about San Diego Comic Con, because I really want to go, of course, being a former San Diegan,
Yeah.
born and raised, I just haven't made it yet. And anytime I think of it, it's like, okay, too late, because you got to start looking at those tickets, what, in like
You're gonna be
November, even though it's not until June.
years
So
in advance.
yeah.
Well, I can get you tickets, but the lodging is going to be the tough part for you, my friend. That's the toughest part, I would say. A real quick super chat here from Brian Brink, $2. Can we get a story of Quip's robe? You want to give us a
Not a
quick
robe.
story?
It's a sweater. So I wore the green one when Mondo was on. So as you mentioned earlier, we have one of the Maiar of toy making, right? Of toy creating, Mr. Jason Toy Otter. That's a Lord of the Rings reference for anybody who's not that nerdy. So yeah, we have one one of the giants. So I was like, okay, let me put on something fancy again, just like I had the green one with Mondo. So now I'm rocking the kind of burgundy mauve, maybe it's a berry color.
I
But yeah, it's
like
just
it.
a sweater from Target. It was on clearance, and I was like, "Ooh, that looks snazzy. It's comfy. It's me, right?" So let me grab it.
Boom. I love it. Quip, I will be exhibiting at WonderCon. Come find my booth, and I'll have coffee crisps for you.
Ooh, coffee crisps. Okay.
Which, okay, fun fact, they are the most, well, Canada has a lot of great things, but coffee crisps are one of them. But some of the grocery stores here now carry coffee crisps in like the international food aisle section. So just be on the lookout for that.
Ooh, okay.
At least
I've
from
never
the
had a coffee
Americans.
crisp ever.
Quip,
They're awesome.
you best go. Just change your
Gotta
life.
get on it.
I don't
Gotta
even
get on it.
like coffee, and I like coffee crisps. Okay, that's how good
That's
they
good
are.
to know because I'm not a big coffee guy either.
But anywho, let's get into the Mondo of it all because I gotta be honest, I'm kind of upset at how amazing these figures are. Because one, Green Goddess on the Motu side is one of my favorite characters from Motu. I love the mini comics. And I love this take that they've given for the character. It definitely takes some design liberties with the character, and I in a really cool way. And I don't have many Motu Mondo pieces, but I have enough, and I need this Green Goddess, and there's only 1,000 of them, and so I got the toy sweats. I have to do a live toy sweat stream because I need this, and I think the Wolverine. But Quip, what was your thoughts on seeing this beautiful Green Goddess?
I am less familiar with her role in the actual IP in the world of Motu. Is she from the newer Revelations
Oh, okay.
Revolution?
No, so well, yeah, she
Okay.
is, but she originated in the mini comics. So the first set of mini comics, she was just a character that got replaced by the sorceress, but she was basically just Tila but green, and then she gave He-Man his damn it, they gave He-Man his armor, no, his armor, and then helped split the swords in half, and so that's why Skeletor had half of the sword and He-Man. Anyway, it's big in the
Okay.
mini comic lore, and then in classics they did a Green Goddess, and it actually got featured in the Revolution show like I guess in the new canon there. So it's a deep cut that is so cool that it's kind of become a bit more well known.
If it's a
So
deep cut, as you just described it, it makes sense. It's the perfect convention exclusive, right? Because that's what convention exclusives are
I
supposed to be. Mondo
know.
does a really good job about picking which figures they do opt to, or which variants of figures they opt to make convention exclusives.
Uh-huh.
Overall, I know when I first saw her, I was thinking, okay, I saw green skin, kind of the Hut Slayer get up. It reminded me of Ula.
Sure, yeah.
So, but all in all, again, it's just a cool figure. Objectively looking at it, not knowing a whole lot about the lore
Mhm.
and where and how she fits into it, but overall, great sculpt, cool accessories. I'm interested.
Yeah, it is so cool. Bill, where do you stand on the Green Goddess of it all? You a Green Goddess fan?
Yeah, I mean, obviously collected Motu when I was a kid, so I had the mini comics, so I'm very much aware of who the character is. But I don't collect Motu now or Mondo stuff because it's out of my price range. Although I do think they're doing a great job with all the stuff that they do. Ironically enough, I'm not going to be at WonderCon this weekend, even though I'm based in LA. I'm going to be at Toylanta this weekend, so
I'll be at Toylanta. I'll see you there.
Excellent. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, no, that is the kind of the crux of the 1/6 scale stuff, right? It's pricier and it takes more shelf space. So you kind of have to be really committed or really lucky in space or funds to like be able to play in these waters. So yeah, it's tough. Jason, how about you? Are you a Green Goddess fan?
I mean, I know she's really big in the salad verse, but outside of that, no. I mean, I know what I know about Motu is what I know from all my friends who collect Motu. Like, I never followed it as a kid. I had kind of aged out by the time it hit. So, I'm aware of some characters. Buzz off for life.
Okay, but we'll say their buzz off is incredible. But yeah, no, I guess maybe given the sentiment of the more casual or even fans, and maybe this is the right kind. But for me, as a big Motu fan, I'm stressed because I do really, really want it. It's a couple of more super chats. Video Power Gaming, $5 super chat. Quip is a classy gentleman. I agree, very classy. Michael with a $50 super chat. Holy moly, Michael. Thank you, my friend. I feel like a jerk now for saying this show needs an opening act. Slow down, feel better. Thanks, Michael. It's okay. I'll be fine. Okay, could have been way worse. But anywho, I think this thing looks incredible. It even takes the head sculpt from the Evil Lyn. I think all three really are from the Evil Lyn, which is an interesting take because usually it's Tila that's turned into the Green Goddess. But I think it works really well here. And yeah, this one needs to come home with me.
So let me ask you this. Was that originally like a coloring mistake, or was she supposed to be just a green Tila in the mini comics?
God, that's a great question. I don't know the answer. Because it's only in that first mini comic. After that, they basically dropped the whole goddess thing, other than I think saying goddess Tila or whatever. And then by the time you get into the second wave of mini comics in 83 or whatever, you have the Tale of Tila, which kind of introduces the sorceress and all that kind of stuff. So I would love. Oh, so Attack Peter is here. All new head sculpts. So there you go. Was at least inspired by Evil Lyn. It seems to have some vibes there, Peter. You tell me I'm wrong. Or you can call in and yell at me. Whatever you think's best, Peter. But I think she looks amazing. This is to me, I'm glad. I hope it's not a must buy for everybody. Sorry, Peter, to say that, because I want one and I don't want to have to like stress about getting one. But it's only 1,000. So for both of these exclusives we're talking about, there's only 1,000 of each. So best be ready, I guess. What time's this thing? Peter, can you let us know what time? What is the time?
All the online exclusives go online at noon on Friday, March 28th. So that's noon Central Time.
Central. I hate how they do the Central thing. So 1 o'clock Eastern. There you go. All right, let's go back then.
Before you go, before
sure.
you pull off this, can you pull up the shot of her with Tila and the sorceress?
Oh, all the other female characters we've done so
Yeah,
far.
you just gotta pull it up, spotlight that, highlight that. Again, this is another perfect exclusive because it is it International Women's Month? Yeah, March is supposed to be Women's History Month. So this is just a really cool shot. So again, shout out to all the lady listeners. And cool, you can pick this up in celebration of that. Look at that display. That's pretty rad.
Badass. Take notes, Todd McFarlane. All right, let's go on to the next character here. And that is my favorite version of maybe the most popular X-Men character, Wolverine. And I need this. I was gonna buy I think I probably will still buy the blue and yellow suit Wolverine. But I was just gonna like buy it on Big Bad Toy Store or whatever. But brown suit Wolverine's my dude. That's what I grew up with. The Pride of X-Men tape, the comics of my youth. And especially the arcade game. This is Wolverine. I absolutely love this look, and it was so cool when they brought this look back into X-Men 97. And I guess I don't know if that gives them a pathway to make this version of the figure, whatever that is. I don't care because I need this figure. And I love all the looks. It just has so much personality. Alex Brewer is a bloody genius. And the sculpt has already been out there. It's just repainted. But it looks so damn good. That's a spoiler alert, I guess, for the end of X-Men 97. But wow. Another one that I absolutely need, and I hate that I need it. Because again, this only has 1,000 that go off on Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Quip, what's your thoughts?
My thoughts are, again, I share that same affinity for the arcade cabinet specifically. That's also why I like that that version of Psych, like when they showed them paired together.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a really cool way to get those arcade variants to make them kind of con exclusives and event exclusives. Really holding out hope to see the whole lineup. What I'm doing with this particular line is what I've mentioned before, where I can really like a line, but sometimes I want to see the whole line out and together beforehand. And because I'm so particular about what I collect, I don't mind paying aftermarket prices. Like if it's all together, that awesome, that rad. So I'm excited to see Colossus, and I'm also excited to see where they go with Dazzler. But just focusing on this brown suit variant Wolvie, he's beautiful. It's perfect. It's fantastic. Again, putting him back into proportion because I know they've done a previous release of the brown suit Wolverine based on the previous Tiger Stripe iteration, but bringing him in, he's a short king, so you got to bring him in to scale. He's got to.
That's what they've done, right? They made the short king version, yeah.
So this is awesome. I feel like this is going to go quick. I think a lot of people. There's been a lot of buzz about this particular Wolverine, at least in our toy discords, right? In the GDL Discord.
Yeah.
So this is great.
Between the two, Quip, which one do you think sells out first, Wolverine or Green Goddess?
If I had to bet, I'd be willing to bet Wolverine. If for nothing else, just I'd probably bet Wolverine just for the popularity of Marvel.
Okay.
It's just more mainstream. Not that Motu isn't awesome. That Motu won't be mainstream once that movie finally comes out and it's more updated and people are excited about it again. But yeah, I gotta go. I gotta put my money on Wolvie selling out quicker.
Okay. All right. I'm putting a poll in the chat. You on the chat can let your voices be heard. Bill, are you a brown suit Wolvie fan?
Yeah, I am. This is awesome. I'm surprised it's not a mainstream release, given how popular I think it'll be. But yeah, I'm with you. I think this thing's going to sell out like pretty quick. I mean, that outfit's pretty popular for a lot of folks.
Yeah. This one's tough. It's tough. Jason, how about you? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, when I first started collecting comics, I got 5 issues of X-Men based on their covers, and 2 of them were 139 and 140, where he gets the brown suit. So that was my introduction to the X-Men. Period.
Oh wow, okay.
Like had just started collecting Spider-Man comics, like 81, I think. So not too long after those issues came out, and I didn't know who they were. I just thought Wolverine looked cool on the covers, so I grabbed a bunch of them. So yeah, I love this suit.
Yeah, it's oh man. Yeah, it's gonna be stressful. It's gonna be stressful, folks. Only 1,000. Justin says Mondo exclusives are not fun. Wow.
And then even if you've got the blue one, this one has that head sculpt where it's kind of that partially ripped mask is a new head sculpt. Like that, it's featured there. Yeah, if you were to zoom in on that head, or if you go to the whole layout, it's one where you could still kind of get part of the mask, and yeah, that little guy, that would still even look awesome with your ripped up blue Wolvie, right? So just because you have a blue one doesn't mean you're out of the woods. You still need this one, as you were mentioning earlier.
No. Stop. If you have a blue one, you're fine, everybody. You don't need this. Go away. You're fine. Move along. Nothing to see here, folks. It's probably the worst version Wolverine ever. I wouldn't buy it. Do you think that worked?
Totally.
You're good. You're good now. I think you're fine.
Yeah.
Black Boy Toy Joy. I will be competing with you, Jay, to get Goddess, and will either gloat or cry when I see you here in Atlanta. Hey, you know what? We'll have to wait and see. Michael, $10 super chat. Just dropped $500 on Beastman and Merman. If I buy Wolverine and Tila, does Mondo also supply the biz card of the greatest divorce attorney? Yeah, they making things tough for sure. Michael, what happened to minimalist Quip? Yeah, Quip, come on. You're always the voice of reason.
Minimalist, but I collect vicariously through other people who share pictures of their collection. So I still push to others while I keep my space decluttered.
Okay.
Why should I spend my money when you can spend yours, right?
Oh yeah, just make it tougher for everybody else, Quip. Hot take: black leather is the best Wolverine suit. Woo, Tucker Prime. That is a hot take.
Is he talking X-Men movies?
Yeah, I think X-Men movies. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Whatever floats your boat finds your lost remote.
Anybody here think the leather suit is the best for Wolverine? The silence has it.
You need a cricket sound effect.
Hold on. Give me a second. Where are they? Gotta have that better prepared next time. Okay, let's go to the poll. Who do you think is gonna sell out first? And honestly, I'm surprised. I would have thought this would have gone skewed more Wolverine. But it is 52% of you say Wolverine will sell out first, and 47% say Green Goddess. So
okay.
So yeah, we'll see. Okay. The real question here is what are we most looking forward to them revealing this week? Because I think the last time we had them on the show, they talked about that this show would have the 1/12 scale Motu 2000X, at least the first figures there, which I'm really excited about. I know Motu fans are crazy. I'm one of them. But I think that is, to me, the thing I'm most excited about, because and hopefully real Ghostbusters Winston and Ray, we had renders of it, but hopefully we'll see some sculpted ones there. But the Motu 2000X could be huge because that's their second 1/12 line, right? And Bill, I think you tapped into it, of the Mondo or Mondon't. Usually it's because they're bigger and more expensive, so you can't play, And the Ghostbuster ones are also really expensive through just the way the license kind of goes. They have said the Motu line will be cheaper in that 1/12 scale. So I think that could be really huge. Bill, Fresh Monkey Fiction generally plays in that 1/12 and smaller-ish range. What's your thoughts on Mondo expanding into that territory? Like, no, stay away. It's our space. Or are you excited they actually are playing in this space?
I mean, I'm excited. I love their stuff. I'm excited they're moving some stuff into that scale. I got to visit them at Toy Fair and see some really awesome things. So stay tuned because it looks awesome. That's all I'll say. Yeah, it looks great.
Wait, you seen it, Bill?
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, their stuff. I mean, if you like what they're doing, at the 12-inch scale, it's going to look great. It's 6-inch stuff. I mean, it's a similar stuff, and it looks fantastic. So I'm excited to see what they reveal this weekend. But yeah, no, I think it's great, and I think that there are going to be some challenges with folks with the price points and stuff, but I think given licensing, we're in that boat too. When we license things, you got to kind of work around it and do the best job you can, and I don't blame them for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think because of it though, they're trying to pack a lot of stuff in,
yes,
to make fans happy, and I think they will be. Yeah.
Dope.
Okay.
Dope. Matt had a review, says Mumra. Also, kudos to Matt Hatter. Got a Pixel Dan review of Flipboard. That's a big deal, folks. Go check out that video if you haven't yet. It's near. How close are we to getting our Flipboards? I can't wait to get mine. Exciting stuff. That just means we're closer and closer to the day we get our Flipboards. Johnny Cock, $5 super chat. My fingers are crossed for new Attack Peter vinyl figure being announced, and hopefully more Hector design Kaiju Safubi and more TMNT Safubi baddies. Agreed. I have this Ray Fillet, and he is one of my favorite. I highly doubt that this will, or I can almost guarantee this will make my top 5 of 2025. This is an incredible figure. And I can't wait to see what other things they could do with the line. Let's see. Matt Harris says Flipboard should be landing stateside around the end of April, then sent out. So very soonly. And Hector just dropped Hedora versus Zilla. Dope. Very cool. So anywho, that's exciting, Bill. Jason, what's your take on Mondo get into the smaller 1/12 scale waters?
I just got rid of all my 6-inch figures, so I've divested myself of all my 12-inch. Went about 10 years ago. All my 6-inch have now gone because I'm totally all in on old retro lines.
Okay.
One, for space, but two, it's like my garage, and I've got a spare room and an office, and they're just full of boxes now and storage crates of toys that I will never see again. I mean, realistically, I'm never going to put them back on display now that Superpowers has like taken over one half of my room and Secret Wars has taken over one half of my room, because I'm printing and making tons of these all the time. So I really had to make a decision to consolidate. And Star Wars, I've got all my 3 3/4 inch and all my retro 3 3/4 stuff. So I would love to see Mondo jump into that reaction kind of
keep
realm.
Going smaller and smaller.
And that, well, I mean, seriously, no one's doing Secret Wars. Even though it would be more expensive, I would love it if Mondo took over Superpowers. I would love it for them to take over, retro Star Wars from Hasbro. Because Mondo's going to hit it out of the park, and I want all these lines to be done perfectly. So selfishly, I want them to get into the small scale lines because they're going to do a good job.
And like having that, I guess the Mondo's toys is still a very small group, very small group, but they're under that Funko banner, so they do get to play with pretty big licenses that other toy companies on that size probably won't get to do. And Jason, I don't know why I even think about that, but like do Secret Wars continued, do Superpowers continued, and I'm
going to talk to Bob at Mondo tomorrow. I have a call with him, so Jason, I will ask him directly when I talk to him tomorrow.
Tell him if he needs someone to work on those lines.
Well, that's one of the things I love about Mondo is they do a great job of bringing in great artists, and Jason, I know I'm not just saying this because you're here. I would say it if you weren't here, and I have many times. Yeah, they should just bring a wheelbarrow full of money and just dump it on your front porch and say, hey,
DC
please do this.
approved already. So,
Yeah,
Ooh.
like
you've done the comic covers, right? So
doing the comic covers.
yeah, so come on, let's just at the very least, like if you could just do like physical versions of the covers that you've done, that'd be sick.
DC would love those, and let me tell you, just from the feedback I get, I'm sure McFarlane hears constantly, why aren't you making these figures?
Right? Well, and that's the thing, like I'm actually, Jason, I'm curious your thoughts, and Bill too, with that industry experience with Mattel taking on, I guess, is it the master license? Do you think they would play well with the Mondo to like let that happen, or do you think Mattel would be like, no, we want to make it? I don't see Mattel wanting to do that.
Well, I think there's two parts of it, and Bill is probably speak from a more informed position than I can, but I don't know exactly if they got the master toy license.
Interesting. Okay.
I know they got a big chunk of the toy license. Like it does look like McFarlane and Spin Masters are I don't want to say completely out, because I have a feeling what McFarlane might be trying to negotiate are like the statues and stuff.
Sure.
Based on the covers. So I do think there is a carve out. And what it depends on is this something Mattel cares about? And is it something they're going to want to do? Because if it doesn't have any compete from them, and they may play nice for money, but
sure, yeah.
So
Well, to me,
that's what it comes down to.
Well, they played nice already with Motu. They own Motu, and they've let Mondo work in multiple scales now.
Well,
for that license
and like the Super 7 stuff. So
yeah.
I do think there is a partner out there that's a possibility for some of this stuff. But that's also their license versus the license they're paying for. So, but then again, you see how Star Wars slices their license as thin as they possibly can. And I'm always wondering when Hasbro's going to just say, you know what, we're getting out of all toys that aren't like super home runs and concentrate on the digital IP that they're pushing right now.
It feels like they're doing that right now.
And and who are they going to shop these sub licenses out to, like Power Rangers?
Yeah. Yep.
So
well, and they've kind of like Playmates is doing Power Rangers.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
They've let the deep cuts go to loyal subjects, and they look cool. They look, I mean, the mask stuff looks great.
I think the smartest thing they could do, and I don't know if they would ever think about it or want to do, is give Kenner to somebody else. Either spin off Kenner or say, Super 7, do you want to take over? You're going to pay us a licensing fee. And now all of those retro lines are going to be under the Kenner brand, but we're letting you take the brand.
Sure. Yeah.
That would be the smart thing, because they use it so weirdly and inconsistently. They can get money for that.
There you go. Other mid-major toy makers, there's your call. Go call up Hasbro. Take over Kenner. Bill, you have thoughts. I feel them across the screen.
Yeah. I think we'll see a lot more of the things that we're talking about happen over the next year or two. I think there's a lot of changes happening, at Hasbro with the way they've used some of their Vault IPs. They are establishing really good relationships with some of the smaller, companies like Super 7. Mattel obviously is gonna start swinging pretty, with DC, but they've got good relationships with Mondo. So I think there's a possibility that some of these things get carved out in different ways. I know from talking with, folks at Hasbro, that they're really excited about Mask and how it's been received so far with low subjects. So these are things that they weren't going to do themselves, and they're finding partners that are willing to take more risks. And they're, so far, I think if the fans support those kind of things, we'll probably end up seeing a lot more of that. That's my guess.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
that would be great.
So I want to jump in real quick because I saw a comment, I think, from Allison. Can I scroll back through these comments? No,
yeah, sure. Yeah, which one?
Oh, there we go. Now it's working. Okay, so she says, Mattel, yes, that's it. You can't copyright a style like that. So they might be able to make some kind of claim, but it's just like reaction. Anybody can make something that's that style. They can't make the license. So I know Mattel is trying to say, hey, we did these new things in that style, and it's all our thing. I would imagine if Marvel went to anybody and said, we want to do new Secret Wars in that style, Mattel's not going to say a word.
Yeah. Or could you just tweak it a little bit so like you don't
Even
have to
so,
worry about it?
It's the whole reason you can make knockoff lightsabers. Lucasfilm took the first people who did it, I think it was Park Sabers, to court, and the court came back and said, those are cylinders. It doesn't matter how much you dress up cylinders. They can't make Luke's lightsaber. Actually, they can, because it was just a Graflex. They put stuff on.
Yeah.
But you can't make a lightsaber you designed, but anyone can make a lightsaber of their own design. The same thing with form factors. You can't make Captain America Secret Wars if you don't have the Captain America license, but you can make something in that style.
Yes. Yeah.
As Bill right there has done with Amazing Heroes.
Yes. Yeah.
For all that time.
Yeah.
And they may not like it, and they make all these big moves. These companies make these big moves to scare people off and act like it's theirs, but they legally can't do it.
Yeah. And then you just gotta, well, it's either you cave because you don't want to deal with it, or you push back with, like, to your point, there's already been cases that have been won on
and it's think of artists. I could go out right now and paint like Frank Frazetta. I can't say it's Frank Frazetta, but he can't sue me because I'm painting like him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
and it's and I think we're seeing a lot of this stuff too. In the last few years too. It's bad PR for those companies too to go after folks unless they really feel it's gonna hurt their bottom line. In most of these cases, it's not. And then there's backlash now, especially with social media and stuff like that. I mean, that wasn't the case 20 years ago or so, but like now there's so much backlash. If they do these kind of things, they have to be really mindful of when they want to do that stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, Gary, dress up cylinders are opening for Arcade Fire this weekend.
That's a nice logo, Gary. I like it.
Oh yeah, look at this.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting in on the action, the GDL action. I love it. All right. Gentlemen, I think this is a perfect segue to get into what you all are here to talk about, which is your next Kickstarter for Longbox Heroes. People that watch this channel probably know because we've talked about it before, but if what's your elevator pitch for Longbox Heroes, Jason or Bill?
I'll jump in real quick with a little backstory, and then I'm going to let Bill take it away for what we're about to do. How's that sound?
Sure, sounds great.
I'm going to try to share something. I did not set this up ahead of time, so what I found out, Jay, is it did not like any of my settings.
Oh, okay, no worries.
So I'm going to try to upload a picture.
Oh, there you go. I see it.
Did it work? Okay.
Hey,
Ooh,
hear that?
hey.
So this was what we're calling Wave 1. We did this in 2022. We were able to license a number of indie comics. All the characters no one was basically doing anything with at the time, or at least not this kind of retro thing in scale. Obviously, we wanted to do something like superpowers because we love superpowers. In a minute, if we have time, I'll talk about kind of the genesis of how we started the whole line. I've got some fun exclusive stuff to show that we've never shown before. But it kind of weirdly metastasized. We partnered with Big Bad Toy Store at the time. It was a great partnership because we ended up taking pre-orders for everything. And as long as they crossed a certain threshold, Big Bad put up the money. So no one had to pay up front. Big Bad put up the money for all the tooling and everything. And then it was an exclusive to Big Bad. Ultimately, and these all got made. Everything you see got made. We also made a 5-pack black and white Rocketeer exclusive set. That was really cool. Ultimately, a lot of these didn't quite cross the finish line. And Big Bad thought there was enough enthusiasm and they liked where we're going. So they went ahead and said, okay, we're just going to pull the trigger anyway.
Yeah.
And we left pre-orders open for 8 months and got almost no pre-orders past that initial 1 month of campaign. So part of it is, Big Bad has a lot of stuff going through them every day. So their front page only has so much space.
Exactly.
It became like, I don't want to say yesterday's news, but it was an older story after that initial push. So as we're going into wave 2, we want to kind of try Kickstarter as a new model, to kind of see apples to apples. Is this going to get the word out? Because what we heard from everybody was, especially after all the Rocketeers sold out, because everything was made to order, sell out, and then they're just like, oh, how can we get this? How can we get this? Where can we find this? And Rocketeers are going for $100 on eBay now.
Oh, they are? I
Oh
should
yeah,
sell mine. No, I'm
go
kidding.
look. They shot through, and that's one thing is you'll see what we're gonna offer. We're trying to get as much as we can out to people who missed stuff the first time, and not make people mad who bought it the first time and did fund this. So ultimately, we didn't quite break even on the line, and so that's the other thing is now we kind of have to hit the Kickstarter has to fund.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's both going to help us get the word out because there's a lot of successful toy Kickstarters. And we're hoping that's going to put this over the edge. And when we launched this last time, McFarlane had just announced Superpowers. Boss Fight had just announced their first wave. Like, we all did this in a vacuum. Like,
that's wild.
I knew about all 3 lines, but I couldn't tell anybody I knew about all 3 lines because McFarlane had asked me to do some minor consulting up front before they started, just get some reference and everything.
Sure.
And then we're friends with the Boss Fight guys, and they were like, hey, can you give us a gut check what's going on here? But a lot of our licenses didn't even get inked until we were ready to launch.
Wow.
So we could not talk about, what was going on. So it was a crazy thing of like, wow, I really want to tell people about this. I can't talk about it. Okay, so with that,
and I will say, as someone that bought again, Madman, the Tick, Rocketeer, I think those are I think I got those 3. All 3 great figures, better quality than McFarlane's Superpowers, and so they're really nice, really really nice.
We don't have this as a selling point, but one thing most people don't know is they're not like Glyos, but it's the same kind of concept. You can pop off all the limbs.
Wait, I didn't know that.
These are like a customizer's dream, which we made them for that reason. You can mix and match almost all the parts. So with that said, Bill, can you share, or do you want me to bring up the Kickstarter?
Why don't you do it? Because I didn't prepare to share anything.
Got it. So
Outside
I will bring up. So
me
that
being
was
here.
wave 1.
I'll move this. There you go. Just remove. There we go. And then I think Quip, you posted the link to the Kickstarter.
Yeah, I posted the link there, and then it's also I've got it pulled up too. If you want
put
me
a
to
new
share the
picture up
screen.
there.
Okay.
Oh, there we
I don't know if you guys
Hold
can see
on.
it.
Yeah, it's got to go down to it, and there we go.
There we go.
Here we
Okay.
go.
Bill, take it away.
So well, you did a lot of the heavy lifting there. So as many of you know, Jason is prolific in terms of his digital customs that he's been doing. We quickly, as Wave 1 was going on, we were doing all sorts of stuff that we wanted to make. Some of it didn't make the cut. Some of the things we wanted to do, we had to go seek other licenses for. But we decided, look, we love Wave 1. We wanted to see it continue. The fans wanted to see it continue. Jason had a lot of this stuff already in the queue. We had to go get a few other things. And so we're like, okay, it's time now to do Wave 2. And as Jason mentioned, Kickstarter, the thing about Kickstarter is it's a call to action, right? And that's the reality of it, right? And we want to make these things, like a lot of the stuff I make at Fresh Monkey, right? Like we want to make it, but we need folks to support it at the end of the day. We're not, we're pretty much exclusive to Big Bad Toy Store when we sell stuff. We're not at mass retail. We have good relationships with the creators of all of these things. They're very excited to see their stuff turn into little plastic people, just like we all are as fans. And so with that, we're going to launch this Kickstarter tomorrow for this wave, and then we have plenty of stretch goals planned as well.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Just real quick take. Arthur being in here is huge. If Rocketeer is that expensive, great. You're putting a slightly changed one in there. Savage Dragon is huge. Betty looks badass. Lot of great adds to this wave.
And Rocketeer gets the cliff head, which we wanted to do for sure. One thing that's nice about this is the last time, I think it was 1,000 figures was the threshold they had to cross. And Bill, what is it this time?
Oh, I don't know. In terms of how many we have to make?
Well, for each character. Wasn't
yeah,
there
it's
like
around it's around the same. Yeah. So
Okay.
it's yeah.
So one thing, unfortunately, is we tried to get the price down a little bit, but thanks to someone's tariffs that bit us at the very last minute, because we've been planning this for a while. And that's unfortunately something we cannot control whatsoever.
Nope. We just gotta live with it.
I know Kevin Matchstick right here. I'm just looking at him. He's giving me major George Carlin vibes. I don't know if that's his name, but
I put one more thing in the.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool.
I've got a couple of stuff to share as we go through.
Perfect.
Oh yeah, there's this. Yeah,
that's the mystery guy.
This is actually going to be our second stretch goal. We're going to reveal it at Toylanta. We have a panel on Saturday of Toylanta, and so we'll reveal this at the panel, and you can see who this character will be.
We're very excited.
Guesses in the chat. Snake Plissken.
Yeah. And so let me share the next thing.
The greatest American hero.
Believe it or not. Barefooted, by the way. Just he's barefooted. That's just another note about this shadow.
Maybe not.
Tarzan, maybe.
There's toes there, Jason. How is that not barefooted?
It could be sandals.
Could be sandals, yeah. There you go.
Oh, shoot! It's the dude. No, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what it is.
So here's a look. We are refreshing packaging. I had posted the one on the right. Actually, was one of my first designs narrowing down the designs, because we had a ton of designs. And at the time, it was like, well, we're launching Longbox Heroes, and they have the logo that big, and the characters overlapping, and we wanted also all the characters to have their own logos on the package. So it was kind of like, to launch a line, we felt it was better to have all that separate stuff. But when I shared this, it got a huge response, because it is a cleaner design. It is very sleek, but it still looks like it's a part of the line. So we just felt like this was a nice thing to go into the next series to do a package refresh. So the backs will be basically the same, but this will get a little bit of a tweak going forward.
No, I like it. It's like as someone that tries to make thumbnails and stuff, you try to, like, I don't know, design something that you kind of catches someone's attention and lets you kind of quickly understand what the heck it's about. And the bigger logo and just how the depth and how everything's placed here, it looks really, really nice.
Thank you. And then let me share. Okay, so I'm gonna dive in, if you'll indulge us, a little bit about the development of the line originally, because a lot of people haven't seen this stuff. So one thing, let me share this. Just brought a bunch of show and tell. People will get a kick out of. So I had posted this to Instagram. I don't know if anyone saw the series I ran amazingly last summer. It was the last time I sculpted hardly anything. So I have, I don't know what I have, 80 or 90 sculpts that I just did over the years of potential Longbox heroes. Some for fun, some we knew we were never going to get. And you see a couple of ones on here actually ended up making Wave 2 after I said that they weren't going to be in Wave 2. One interesting one is Tim Seeley's Hallows Fire, which was just kind of a discarded concept he had posted on his Instagram, and I thought it was so cool looking, I sculpted it. And then he saw it, and it had a huge response. He shared it. Everyone talked about it. And he said, you know what? I'm going to revive that character. And I was like, can we just make it then?
Oh hell yeah, that's
Mm,
awesome.
So it all led to her coming back, and he gave us a backstory for her that'll be on the Kickstarter and everything, which is cool.
Yeah.
But all of these characters are ones that at one time or another we really, really, really thought might be in the line, and we really hoped would be in the line.
Mhm.
Except Six Gun Gorilla, we knew he wasn't going to be in the line.
I think we pursued all of them.
We pursued
in one form or another. Yeah. To try to get them, and either we ran into licensing fees that were just not within, where we would normally hit, given the size of the numbers that we produce, or creators really weren't interested, or all sorts of different things. But we did. I think I did reach out to almost everybody on this list, almost. Yeah.
Is there any way we can help? Because I want that mask figure. I want the shadow figure.
So Mask got really close. Another toy company had been sitting on the license. Like, it went really close before they realized.
That's tragic. Don't tell me it was
is
close.
already
Tell me it
licensed.
could never happen.
And some of them are always possibilities, but and I gotta jump back because Bill handles pretty much all of this. He's been a rock star, because when you think of something like superpowers or Ghostbusters or whatever, there's a one-shot deal. And here it's every single figure has their own individual deal.
Yeah.
And all the creators are different. And some get back to you right away, some don't. All of the creators we are actually working with to make stuff have been phenomenal. And they've just gone out of their way, and no one's making a lot from this.
Yeah.
So they got to really love the toy.
I mean, there were a lot of no's, and then, after establishing good relationships with them, especially after wave 1, we got a little bit more yeses. Radioactive Tick is a good example, where we went after that pretty hard the first time, and they just really weren't into it. And then when the figures came out and they got excited about it, then we were able to do it for this one. So, and you mentioned Tim Seeley before. He's a great partner for us. He's always open for us to do stuff. And again, like all the artists that we're working with that have committed to wanting to do the figures have all been really great. They're super excited about, again, getting their creations made. They know their fans want it. Some of them are huge action figure fans. Mike Allred, Tim Seeley, for example. Some aren't. They don't even really like action figures, but they know that their fans do, right? So they're excited about opportunities to get things out there for them.
Okay, you don't have to name names, but like, who doesn't like action figures? But makes superheroes. What?
You'd be surprised, but I'm gonna show you something in a minute that you're gonna be like, what? But here's the thing too. It's not just that. They might like money more than action figures, and this is. I mean, from just think about that. If we had to have a huge guarantee up front for every character, there's no way. Like, no one would be able to make this. And that's probably why it's so hard to make a line like this, where it's all of these. So the creators have to be into it, and
because they're not going to be making a crap ton of money. Nobody's making a ton of money on the deal. Yeah.
And like Tim ran the fake ads I made in some of his comics and didn't even tell us. Like, it was just like, wow. And Eric Powell was like, can you get me a little sign? I'm going to put it on my table at Comic-Con. And so these guys have been just all of them, all of the creators. Mike Allred is amazing. Like, he loves all of this stuff.
Yeah.
So, which is actually a good segue. So one thing, because it's been obviously years. It took us and I know, thank you everybody who ordered figures and were patient for these to wait, because as we all know, we've all seen the factories. People are like, oh, this would have come out like this, but the factory reversed the shoulders. The factory did this.
Sure, yeah.
And we ran into some typical stuff, some not so typical stuff. Trying to get these, especially trying to get them with all the interchangeable parts and everything, which was tough for all the different form factors. And again, wave 2 is cool because we can reuse some tooling, which helps us a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
But wave 1, every single figure was different until we got to the troop builders, which weren't in there at first. And again, that's Bill. That's Bill telling me the voice of reason, because I was like, no, everything has to be unique tooling, and he was like, I don't know about that. So that ended up helping us tremendously. And yes, I bowed down because he absolutely knew what he was talking about, and people liked him. Everybody liked all the different troopers and all the different kind of stuff. So we do have some troop builders in here. Some will be revealed as stretch goals, so I can't say too much. But anyway, to the point being that it would have been, impossible to try to license all those and do all that tooling and everything unique. And that's the thing with some of these too, that if we go up like a 6-gun gorilla, there's no way we can reuse that tool. So a lot of the things we reused or we did in wave 1, even if it was unique tooling, it was of a mind, if we do this again, we're building some tools that we can carry over.
Sure.
And you see that in some of these designs. And like a Max is going to have to sell a lot because you're only making the Max with that tool.
Yeah.
And so that makes it hard. But so anyway, it took so long in production because I would not approve anything that the factory wanted us to go with because we didn't actually have a deadline, and they're used to backing companies who have to get stuff to Target or Walmart
Sure.
up against a wall and saying like, we know you're running out of time. And I just kept telling them, we're just going to keep redoing this. So finally, they got it pretty close to what we wanted. But it took a long time. So in that time when we were kind of discussing if we were going to do a wave 2 and how are we going to do it, and how can we do it so this time it actually, because it's got to at least pay for itself, but ideally make some kind of money for us, for the creators, for everyone. One thing we talked about at first was, why don't we try to just do themed waves? And do small waves and just do them either overlap or one after another.
Sure.
And so I'm going to show you some of these themed waves that you'll see. Some of this stuff ended up in wave 2, obviously. And all of this stuff isn't stuff we talked about with the creators. This was strictly what we were presenting between ourselves. So here's one. And there were a couple of other ideas. And again, these are all comic based. So it's stuff like, we found like that yellow tick shows up for like one issue as like a multiverse kind of a thing. The tick was wearing goggles and a lab coat, so we were like, well, that's an easy one. Maybe we can do like every tick head we had so far, do it in that kind of color. But yeah, so that's one. And then here's one. Sorry, I'm not used to this file sharing.
That's okay.
I keep wanting to double click on my open windows.
I forgot about half of these already. I mean, we've been doing this for so long now, like it's been years of Jason sending me things, and then I'm like, okay, I'll go after it. Or like, oh, I have to be the bad guy all the time. Like, that's way too many parts. That's going to cost way too much. I mean, it's not that I don't want it. I want it, but oh man, I don't know how we're going to do that. Right. And, yeah.
Like, we knew Arthur had to be made. Like, we knew we had to make Arthur, and that's all unique tooling. So that also knocks out like someone else who may be in a unique tooling slot.
Sure. But you need Arthur though. Like,
we have to. And
like Tick having Batman with no Robin or whatever.
Yeah. Tick was a really hot seller. So we had confidence that the Tick fans would want to continue on with these characters.
Yeah.
So I dropped another one in there, Jay. Oh, there we go. Some of these may still show up. Obviously, Madman has 1 million costumes, and he's super easy to do variants of.
Right? Just paint usually.
So yeah, so for sure, keep an eye out for some of these. And if it does really well, there's no reason we can't do all of these. Because we love Mike Allred and we love variants.
They all look phenomenal.
Thank you very much. Here's another one. Okay.
Oh, badass.
And we went through a lot of comics to just see because some like that robot monster kind of thing. That's a stuntman in like one page of one of the comics where he's like running through Hollywood sets. But yeah, it's just what can we do that makes sense, that expands these little universes, that hopefully the fans would like. So again, some of these may show up. Obviously, Cliff and Betty made it into Wave 2 because we have to represent.
Yeah, and I want to give a shout out to the Rocketeer Trust. Jenny over there is amazing. She's always open for doing stuff. Dave's sister, obviously Dave's passed, but like she's the steward of the trust, and she's been fantastic to work with. And I've got friends who at other companies who are doing other Rocketeer stuff, and she's been great connecting us with them around certain things. So I can't say enough good things about them.
Quick question about that, like, because I know these are the comic versions. Does Disney own like some of the iconography from the Disney movie, or
they own the Rocket Pack?
The Rocket Pack, okay.
Yeah, okay, so that's
the big one. We did try to find a way to do a Rocket Pack. I've got one sculpted that works with the figures, but that was a no-go. And
is it like you can't even be close? Like if it's like anything remotely close to it?
The Trooper one is as close as we can get. Like I did a double rocket for the Troopers. But again, Jen was great. She let us make up the Troopers, let us make up the Black Phantom, and that's being used like outside of our toy line. Like that's going to be part of the Rocketeer universe. So that's amazingly cool, and we want to continue that relationship very much. So.
So 2 quick follow-up questions. One. So you're making the packs for the different troopers. Is there potential are those packs for the troopers still interchangeable, as much as you talked about having different systems to where they can be placed on your Rocketeer? Say you wanted to customize one, paint it gold.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, perfect. And then second question is, does this helmet on the Wave 2 Rocketeer go on top of Cliff, or is that a separate head?
Separate head.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah, I'm a big believer because and I'm sure a lot of people know, I spent many years designing fast food toys. So I love making toys for kids, but if I'm making something for collectors, I'd much rather it be on model than something that's trying to be shoved on to another sculpt. So
there's a part of me though, and it's the right call. This is the right call. You've made the right call, 100%. No notes, but there's also a part of me that kind of wants a stupidly proportioned either like helmet head or a big helmet just for funsies.
let me just say, there's a Funko reaction figure that will satisfy all of your goofy off model dreams.
I have that one. It's fun. It's fun. So. But no, you're 100% right. That was the right call. All right. Any other unseen reveals you want to share?
Well, there might be one more.
Okay, one more. Here we go. Oh, damn. Okay.
So this is the one that got away. And this is
I tried so hard on this.
Oh, you got it in hand. That's not. See, this is where it's just not fair. You got it in hand over here.
How's the camera? Can't get it.
Yeah. We wanted this. This was like almost the first thing we wanted to do.
So the backstory is when I first started sculpting. So I taught myself to digitally sculpt during COVID, right when COVID was starting, more or less. Even though I'd been in the industry forever, I finally forced myself to do it. And was sculpting like tons of Secret Wars stuff, and did the female figure for Bill for the Amazing Heroes, and was playing around with stuff. And our good friend Josh Izzo, who helps out and does everything, is a huge Hellboy fan and knows Mike Magnolia and everything. I just did this as a goof one day. I told Bill, I said, I'm going to make these for Josh and we'll all get them and it'll be a fun 3D print. Got the Cape Master to make the trench coat.
Oh, badass.
So he did a couple of things with that. So that's a real picture there of Hellboy. The rest are renders.
What?
That's the actual figure that Josh painted on my shelf. And then Bill just said when it was done one day, he said, I think we can make this. I think we can actually make this. And that's how Longbox Heroes started. Is it sprung from what else could we possibly make? And unfortunately, and I think it's because they're constantly looking for that next movie, that next master toy license for Hellboy.
Sure.
They want a big company, to do this.
Yeah, I mean, and I think like again, like any of these things, you can't be mad at the creator or anything
Sure.
like that. They've got their own agendas, which are the right thing for them and their business, and that's fantastic. And I will say a lot of these things, like I said earlier about the tick, it may just be no right now. It may not be no forever, right?
Yeah,
and so these are things that like things change. When we were talking to them about this, as a great example, they had just started production on The Crooked Man. That's how long ago it was, and so they were putting a lot towards that movie. Obviously, we're not as big as some of the bigger companies that can offer them mass market deals or a lot of places where these would get sold. So I think they have to make decisions that are best for them for the time that they're in, and there's a lot of respect I have for them for doing those kind of things. So it doesn't mean that these things are off the table. It just means that at the time we were exploring it, it really wasn't going to happen. I think there's a world where we could revisit this if the line, like if the Kickstarter does really well, is a good example, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of these things, and Jason has walked you through a lot of this stuff. A lot of these things are unique tools, and they're very expensive. And if the Kickstarter does well and we can fund them, great. We can make the money to cover the tools, the licensing fees, all that other stuff. But a project like this has a lot of those factors associated with it. But we still want to make these. So I think the question is, we're still going to knock on the door continually for a lot of this stuff. They may not answer us, or they might, but we'll still be out there knocking.
Yeah.
And one thing I'd like to point out, I did not sculpt that Abe. That's just a picture off the internet. That's why it's got the big FPO. But I did want to make sure no one thought that was my work. But just a placeholder for the Abe I never got around to.
Looks, I mean, the Hellboy looks really freaking cool. Really freaking cool. It's also, I've heard, Jason, I know this, that you picked up the sculpting over the pandemic, but it is incredible that you picked it up that well, that quick, and like are able to do that.
It took me like 3 years, and I still don't know. I was talking to Alex Brewer about it. Is I am not a patient man, and I've got a lot going on in my life, so I only learn what I need to know at the moment, and I hardly ever watch tutorials. Like I'll skip through to find that one thing I need. So there are some very basic things of sculpting that I did not learn for years because I was just stubborn and did it my way. So that's a little part of the problem. At some point, I do need to kind of sit down and figure this out. So this was basically what we thought was going to be wave one. And it changed so much. And you see, ultimately, we only made 2 out of these out of wave one. And Rocketeer came in such at the 11th hour. That was a surprise. And I think, Bill, did you just reach out? I forgot how that came about. But
through various connections, through different comic book folks. I mean, this has been, I have a friend who knows this person, or this person knows that person. Some of the relationships I had because of Amazing Heroes, which was, the line we did that was sort of inspired by Secret Wars. But yeah, a lot of it was so many people I could shout out who really were also passionate about wanting to make these things as fans, that they were like, oh, I know so-and-so. I mean, like the whole thing with Ben with the tick wouldn't have happened, if it wasn't for, Gavin and who does Wandering Planet, the Prisoner toys. Like they had a relationship, right? So, the great thing about this line too is not only the community of fans that are helping to support it, which is fantastic, but the community of creators in everything from comics to toys who just love it and know people and are willing to kind of just pick up a phone and say, oh yeah, I got that person's number. I can connect you, because sometimes I'll just email folks and they don't know who I am, right? Or Fresh Monkey is, we've done some cool stuff, but we're not huge. But if they have a personal connection through a friend or whatever, then they'll kind of listen. And that's how this line happened in every sense.
Yeah, I love that. Derek Uver, Jason, what if I told you I know who holds the rights to one Ernest P. Worrell? Could we get Longbox Hero Ernest, the man who saved Christmas and battled trolls?
I love Ernest P. There's
Here's
no lie about that.
funny thing. I reached out to the Ernest folks to try to do a figure, and they never got back to me.
Wow.
So the interest is there, right?
Okay.
But like I said, like sometimes they're busy doing their thing, or you're not big enough or whatever. So I don't know if he makes sense in this line, but I think as a figure it would make a lot of sense.
Hell yeah. And then there's another one in here. Shelf presence. I'm gonna be very selfish. How about Buckaroo Banzai?
Oh my gosh, Buckaroo Banzai would be amazing. That thing is caught up in so much rights hell that I mean, Kevin Smith was trying to do a show for a while. I would love nothing more than to make a full line of Buckaroo Banzai figures. That would make me so happy.
Oh, an ad icons line would be dope too.
I've got that I started because I don't know who follows my Instagram, but every now and then I try to do these series of stuff like I did the cereal monsters and everything, the General Mills guys. But I've started an ad icons thing. The thing is, there's especially like Funko Wacky Wobblers that I had all those. So many have been done, so it's really I'm coming to it from a different. I'm not going to say what I'm doing, but it's coming to it from a different angle than other people have done. But I work in advertising now. I'm a huge ad icons fan. My whole office was ad icons. I do want to say we had a little segue there before we wrap all this up, because I know Bill doesn't get on these things that much, but I do want him to plug what he's doing right now, because it just officially launched like in the last week or so, and everybody will want to hear this stuff. And I've got stuff to share from that as well.
I got so many things I'm working on, Jay. What am I plugging? I just did it. Caught me off guard.
Yeah,
we're talking about Monster Force. Workshop. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. So, big news there. I've officially joined the team at Big Bad Toy Store to start Big Bad Workshop.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. So we've been working with Big Bad Toy Store for the last year. Finally moved over there, and now we've formed Big Bad Workshop, and we've got a lot of great stuff coming. Big announcement at Toylanta next week. We're going to obviously continue the Monster Force line we've been working on with them for a while, but lots of really awesome things planned, and we're super excited to kind of kick it off. We actually now have Facebook and Instagram socials, so please follow us there. More fun things to come on that front for sure.
Yeah, I think I saw this Toylanta exclusive, right?
Yeah, we just announced that today, actually. Yeah, so we have two exclusives there. One's both are Operation Monster Force. One's a pre-order exclusive, which means you show up to the booth. We get your Big Bad information. We add it to your account. You don't have to pay anything. It's like a pre-order. And this one will be an in-person exclusive that we'll have there, and then we'll have some on Big Bad after the show as well.
Hell yeah.
Real quick, Bill, do you know what your booth number is for
oh my gosh,
event?
Off the top of my head I can't remember. I do, but I can't remember what it is off the top of my head. But yes, the show's fairly small. You can find us, I think. Well, the big bad toy store sign, so you probably can't miss us.
All right.
And that's some images of season 2 of Operation Monster Force. So we finally got some photos of the production samples, so those have been floating around now too, so we've been putting those on our socials as well, and we'll have a bunch of at the show. If you can make it this weekend, we'll have a bunch of paint samples from our factory there for a variety of different lines that have been on pre-order. So please come by and say hello, and if you're there on Saturday, we're going to have a indie toy spotlight panel with Spiro, Grindhouse Toys, obviously Workshop, Fresh Monkey will be there, as well as Manor Monster Studios. So I think it's Saturday at 3:00. Please come by.
Boom. I do want to there was something I did want to plus in Cops and Crooks. Any updates for Cops and Crooks? People are asking.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying. The thing with Bulletproof is that coat has been hard to figure out, that soft good coat on that character. I think I'm on my 4th version of that thing, trying to get it dialed in. And so that's been the delay, is we're trying to, this is where I have to give a shout out to Mezco, man. They make their soft goods at that scale are just unreal. Right. And so we have to get things at that level. And we even took some photography with it, and it just looks like a giant. It looks like I don't know, like a giant. I don't know, like a giant. It's too big. We got to get that coat down. So we're trying to get it down. And I think, again, we're on our fourth version of that thing. And if that, I mean, that was the first character that we wanted to roll out with. And that's the one that's the most challenging because it has the soft goods coat. So we're trying to figure that out.
Have you called Cape Master yet? Have we made the call, the Cape Master?
We could try Cape Master. Yeah, it's been and then of course getting China to do it right has been a difficult part. They're trying to get what we did and it not looking like a giant blanket has been a tough one. But we've got a couple of figures for that wave already designed, so we're hoping maybe this summer we'll be able to get that thing up for pre-order.
Beautiful. All right, let's round this thing out. The Kickstarter starts tomorrow. And then I assume, I mean, do you want to say what the goal will be or wait till tomorrow, or just everyone tune in, put the link in the chat, put it in the description. Longbox Heroes goes live tomorrow. But yeah, any final thoughts, Jason or Bill, that you want to share about this?
Don't wait. If you want these figures at all, if you just want one of them, then please jump on the Kickstarter because they will not get made and the line will die. Like that's going to be the end of it. We can't get the Kickstarter.
I hate to be dark like that, but it's the truth, right? Like there's we want to make these. It's not that we don't. This is a passion project for Jason and myself, really. And if these aren't your thing, but you want to support the line, please share it to your fans or friends or fan base, because just getting the word out there is difficult. This is a very unique form factor. As much as Superpowers has been out there, and as much as Power Stars is out there, it's not a 1/12 line that is very popular these days, right? So it's very much something that kind of needs as much exposure as we can get. So I also want to thank you all for allowing us to be here, tonight to talk about it. Because we want to see these things happen, and I also want to see them happen for Jason. Like Jason has done so much for the toy community. He's done so much for this line. And I think he's just done an amazing job on this line, and so I really want to see it happen, and hopefully we'll find others like us as well.
Hell yeah. Chris, we don't want Toy Guru to make a video about this line dying, so we gotta back it. No line dying today.
Jay, if you want to host a debate between me and Toy Guru, I'm not going to say no to that.
Oh, damn. I don't think he would show up to that one, Jason. I'm just going to call that right now.
Yeah,
I don't think it would go very well. All right, just real quick before we round out the show, I do want to check in on a couple HasLab charts, if you all will allow me. The Transformers Legacy HasLab Leo Kaiser will end up being could be the most successsul HasLab Transformer.
Wow. I knew it was funded. I didn't realize it was the leading.
Well, so it's kind of, it's been in this little battle, and I am sorry for everybody on the channel, especially Jason and Billy may not know this, but the Transformers fans get kind of pissed because I'm not a big Transformers fan, so I don't always talk about it as much on my show. But I'm a Transformers fan, just not a modern. I don't really collect it modernly. But this, if you would have told me that the Leo Kaiser would be one of the more successful ones, I wouldn't have agreed, because the first 10 days it wasn't. You can see here. And then, what's unique about these Transformers ones is they have orders on the Japan side of things, and that you have these big kind of jumps, but it had a huge jump at day 10, and has been kind of oscillating between Omega Prime and this one. And yeah, we'll just have to wait and see how it all ends up, but it's done really well. Everything's unlocked, and so now all of these are just gravy. But 1 day, 1 hour left for this HasLab, and it may very well be the most successful one.
Yeah,
Pretty cool. Brick Something has labs with no floor. Elmo Transformers. What else do you have, Jay? I love it all. Okay. And then checking on another chart is the old Baethier. And it is doing pretty darn well. It's funded. The Dragon is funded, and the add-on 1 is funded, and the add-on 2 with the Ashen Zombie is really close. It's really close to getting funded as well. So
have you guys seen this thing in person? Like, I was at the Horseman Studios a few weeks ago, and that thing, I mean, it's unreal in person. That thing is just crazy.
I've not seen it in person, but I'm told it will be at Toylanta. So
yeah.
I'm excited to see it in person.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Ashen Zombie, no, Ashen Zombie. Sorry. So I was talking. Was it Dan Larson? We're talking about it, but if I sell my Cat's Lair and I get that cache in hand,
yeah,
I think I may dip my toe in the waters of Baethier. Maybe
you gotta do it.
Maybe. But we'll see. We'll see. I know Jason can't do it because it's not in scale with his vintage figures.
Well, I mean, a dragon's in scale with anything. I mean, like, yeah, it's. I don't know. I will say, I went all in when Boss Fight did their first hacks, the first Kickstarter, and got every single thing they put out, and then never opened them, and ended up like donating them to a toy museum like 4 years later. I was like, but that's what I was going to do, is just get all these huge monsters to set up a giant display. Just never happened.
I just want to say too, like, good for the fans for making this happen.
Yeah.
Like, like, look, I mean, we're about to launch our thing. I'm a big fan of crowdfunding, like a huge fan of it. And I've been doing it for a long time, and good for everybody for getting this thing across the finish line. I know this for the Horsemen was a big thing they've been wanting to do for a long time, but it's and this says something about the toy community that we're in, and the collector market and what it is. And even if this isn't your thing, it's cool that it's happening, right? It's cool that there's a fan base out there. This thing is not, nothing, right? This thing is expensive, right? But it's awesome that there's a fan base out there that is, wanting it to happen and is making it happen. And to me, like, these are the things that are just fantastic to see.
This is a wild question, Paul. Has anyone gotten more than one bay?
Some have. There are collectors out there who absolutely have received or ordered more than one.
Brick, something says there have been quite a few, Paul. Gee.
Yep.
So there you go.
And just because the Dragon is funded and the fiery accessories at the Fiery Breath set has been funded, also understand there are still tiers to be unlocked, right?
Exactly.
So if you want Sir Benegar, right, you need to keep pushing because they're about 400 shy. I think you need to get to 2,500 units. And if you want to get the extra accessories for the Fiery Breath set, for the Flaming Knight, I forget exactly what the terminology is for them, but for that figure, if you want all the extra super cool, like translucent additional pieces, then they need about just shy of 100 more. And the Epic Wing set is almost there as well. Epic Wing set is almost funded. They need just shy of 70. So there's still tiers to be unlocked. People, if you're interested, you at least now are guaranteed to get your Baethier and guaranteed to get your Fiery Breath set. So if you want to get it the whole or unlock the full Monty, go out, go to the website, fund it.
There you go. And related to that, Michael, quip spending Jay's money like future Jay ain't got bills. Exactly. You see how this changes? Quip.
Well,
like,
you
should be
just talked about
your
funding
money.
Your habit. You're funding your habit, though. You're selling one thing. You're not only raising money, but you're also
I haven't sold it yet. Nobody,
right? So that's the plan.
On Facebook. Not
you're
one
showing
bite.
Restraint. You're still showing restraint by saying, once I sell it and then get the money in hand, because here is the snare of collecting when you say, oh, well, if I sell this, don't worry, I'll be able to make that money. So let me just go ahead and buy this and then
Exactly.
you
I
never get
can't do
around to
that.
posting or selling the other thing, right? And it just now you're even more in the hole. You're being
In
smart
fact,
about
if Colleen was listening right now, she'd be really pissed if she heard this. So everybody, don't tell Colleen when you see her, okay? I'm not getting Baeth here. So there you go. There are the crowd funds that we're going to check into. Justin has a question. Can Bill tell us about Big Bad Workshop?
Yeah, so essentially, we're going to be doing a lot of really great stuff at Workshop. We're doing developing our own IPs, much like Operation Monster Force. We're going to be doing some licensing. I'll put it this way: if you like what you're seeing with Longbox right now, get ready. One of the things that we're really wanting to do is work with other creators to see how we can potentially work with them and bring some of their toys to life. Joel at Big Bad is a huge fan of the indie toy community. Speaking of, Four Horsemen, he's been supporting them for a long time and selling their stuff. So he wants to do more of that, as do I. I'm a huge fan, if you've been following me for a while, like just shouting out other indie toy folks, because I think this community is a great community and I want to see everybody succeed. So more to come on that front for sure.
Badass.
And speaking of other indie toy folks, Jay, did we want to pull up the Space Zombies from Mars? Did you see?
Go
I've
support
got it
Arlen
ready to
on that
share.
thing. Yeah.
If you don't have the, because Brian Brink made a chart for that too. It's not online, but he sent me the image shortly beforehand. I sent it to the Geek Dad Life Gmail.
Gmail. Right now, you did?
At the beginning of the show.
All right. Well, why tee that up? Jason, anything you want to share before we head out of here?
Not wearing pants. I mean, that's not unusual, but
everybody knows that already, right? I don't know if that's new. Is that new information?
SOP.
Oh my goodness. That's great.
We just really hope the Kickstarter as well. Like, there's so much cool stuff in the stretch goals that we hope we just get to the reveal it part. I'll just say that.
Yep. Let's I hope so as well. Let me share the chart. There we go. Chart is shared. Is that right? Yeah, there we go.
Yep, that's it.
So a little short, and we're coming up on the deadline. We have, gosh, what is that? 6 days?
A week left. Yeah, a little under
7 days, a week left. If you are interested, we had the crew on last week. So it's 44% of the way there. With 8 days to go. So, like as they talked about last week, there is no I guess Big Bad Toy Show infusion. They're trying to get this thing fully backed just on actual toy buyer backers alone. So if you are interested, 8 days left, a little bit of a ways to go, but these things can really spike up in the last days. So if you
they just unlocked a bunch of other stuff too this week.
Yes.
So some of their stretch goals they unlocked and some other things. So
yep.
Yeah, it's just great. Like Arlen, I work on a line with Arlen called Naughty or Nice. It's our Christmas theme line. He's fantastic. This is again also a dream project for him and his brother. You guys had him on, so yeah, I would say, yeah, if this is your thing, definitely go back it.
Yeah, this was my guy, the Spike Spectre. So love that they unlocked him. But yeah, get to it and back this one if you are interested. On that note, we're gonna wrap things up here. For my patrons, come hang in after dark. I got another Matt Bush box that arrived, and I opened one live last time when we had a lot of fun with that, so we'll do it again. I have no idea what's in the box. I know it's not Gwyneth Paltrow's head, but spoiler alert, sorry. But we'll see what arrives from the wonderful Matt Bush. Jason, always a good time, my friend. Great chatting with you again. I love your understanding of the history of toys, and then also how you've transitioned to making incredible action figures that kind of capture all the things that we love from that retro stuff. Bill, so great having you on for the first time. Hopefully not the last, and really excited for your Kickstarter kickoff tomorrow. And hopefully the line doesn't die. Folks, it's up to you.
Yeah, thanks for having us, guys.
Thank you. Yeah.
And on that note, we'll see you all next time. Thank you for everybody in the chats. Quip, you being on anything this week?
Not this week. Nope.
Okay, week after that. But guess what, folks? I'll be at Toylanta. I'll have coverage and videos from Toylanta and stuff like that. But Quip's going to be leading the stream on his own next Sunday. All right, so
so we'll be on time. We're actually going to be here at 9. We're going to actually start on time next week.
Shit. Got me. But give him a hard time, please. And until next time, hasta luego. And goodbye. Have a good day, everybody, and night and week.